vai conseguir dar um feedback para vocês. Não deixa eu falar.
O Silver Team pediu para fazer a apresentação em português, eu concordei, desde que eles façam a apresentação para o Ravi em inglês. Então vocês podem, durante a agenda, já combinar com ele, nós somos do Silver, como nós apresentamos em português no final de semana, Ravi, nós vamos apresentar para você em tempo real e já discutir o pitch na sequência. Em inglês daí, claro. Tá bom? Go for it.
Então, boa tarde, nós somos a equipe Silver, vou apresentar um pouquinho. Então, primeiro nosso time. Nosso time é formado aqui por a Stephanie e a Marjorie de Biotecnologia, a Alice de Farmácia, eu de Bioinformática, Matheus da Medicina, junto com a Anne, e a Gabriela do Design. Então, vou falar um pouco de sepsis antes. A sepsis, ela mata hoje, ela causa hoje aproximadamente 30 mil infecções mundialmente, por ano. 30 milhões, desculpe. 30 milhões por ano mundialmente. E desses 30 milhões, aproximadamente 6 milhões desses pacientes são levados a óbito depois de adquirirem sepsis. Então, se a gente pegar esses dados e extrapolar um pouco, a gente pode ver que a cada 4 segundos, uma pessoa morre de sepsis no mundo, a cada 4 segundos. Então, se a gente trazer esses dados para o Brasil, como é a sepsis no Brasil? Aproximadamente 166 mil pessoas são cometidas por sepsis todos os anos no Brasil. E aqui nós temos uma mortalidade de aproximadamente 46%. Então, é uma mortalidade bastante alta, principalmente quando comparado a outros países, principalmente países desenvolvidos. O custo por pacientes aqui gera em torno de $624, e quando esse paciente precisa de um tratamento mais intensivo, um tratamento na UTI, esse custo chega até $1.708. Então, a sepsis é uma doença bastante agressiva, e qualquer tempo para esse paciente vale muito. Porque a partir do momento que é diagnosticado o paciente com sepsis, por exemplo, nesse gráfico a gente pode ver, de 30 até 12 horas a evolução da doença, você diminui a taxa de sobrevivência em 60%. Então é uma corrida contra o tempo, a gente precisa fazer algo rápido e assertivo para que esse paciente tenha uma chance maior de sobrevivência. Mas eu falei agora muito sobre como a sepsis afeta o mundo inteiro e não falei o que é a sepsis em si. A sepsis ela é uma resposta exagerada do nosso organismo a infecções muitas vezes que acometem o nosso corpo. Isso pode ser tanto uma meningite como uma pneumonia, uma infecção em pele, uma infecção urinária. E todas essas infecções elas podem crescer de alguma forma e gerar sepsis. Essas infecções elas podem ser causadas tanto por vírus, fungos, parasitas, mas o principal e a maior parte desses casos são causados por bactéria. Por isso, a gente focou em bactéria e nas bactérias da família Enterobacteriaceae, que são uma das principais famílias causando sepsis no mundo. Dentro dessa família nós temos ali a Enterobacter, as espécies de Klebsiella, as espécies de Escherichia coli, que também são as principais causas de sepsis dentro dessa família. E a nossa missão é, então, disponibilizar um kit diagnóstico barato para que a gente possa fazer um diagnóstico point of care, ou seja, um tratamento que possa ser feito do lado do leito do paciente e que seja rápido o diagnóstico, porque quanto mais rápido a gente faz esse diagnóstico, mais rápido a gente pode fazer um tratamento assertivo e aumentar assim a taxa de sobrevivência desse nosso paciente. Como a gente vai fazer isso? Para isso a gente desenvolveu esse produto, GeneCare, é o que a gente nomeou ele até agora. É um produto inovador que vai ser feito a partir de microfluídica. Então, vai ser uma plaquinha de acrílico, onde nós podemos colocar uma amostra de urina ali. A urina ela tem, quando é infectada, células bacterianas 10 na quinta, então o número de células não seria mais o problema nesse caso. E por microfluídica e capilaridade, ela fluiria para outros poços, onde nós teríamos os primers, onde ocorreria a LAMP. Então isso poderia ser acontecer tudo do lado do leito do paciente. Então seria um procedimento rápido, assertivo e que pudesse gerar um resultado para começar logo o tratamento. Então a mágica toda atrás disso, a Stephanie vai falar um pouquinho como acontece.
Tá, então como isso vai acontecer? Primeiro a gente vai ter a nossa amostra de DNA, que vai ser colocada no LAMP, que é a tecnologia usada, para desenvolver o que a gente quer, um produto point of care, o GeneCare. Então, o LAMP ele é uma tecnologia desenvolvida dos anos 2000. Ela faz uma amplificação do DNA com temperatura constante a partir de 6 primers, numa reação que ocorre em até 30 minutos e que você pode ver por olho nu se deu positivo ou negativo para a resistência estudada. Então, no geral, a nossa tecnologia ela é rápida para detecção, ela é menos invasiva, você não precisa coletar sangue, por exemplo. Ela tem uma sensibilidade e especificidade muito boa, ela tem uma capacidade de detectar o patógeno na amostra contaminada, ela detecta genes de resistência e ela é fácil de utilizar e de interpretar. Então, nossos competidores, quando a gente fala em antibiograma, ele é de fato mais barato, mas ele demora muito tempo até a bactéria crescer e ter o nosso positivo ou negativo. Tem o FilmArray, que ele é barato tecnicamente, ele custa $50 mil o equipamento, mas o refil custa $139 por paciente, o que o custo-benefício dele não fica tão bom, e ele demora um pouco menos, muito menos que o antibiograma. Tem o Walkaway, que demora mais tempo, porque demanda do plaqueamento do micro-organismo para fazer nele, e o custo-benefício dele, apesar de ele ser muito caro o equipamento, por paciente custa muito pouco. E tem o nosso, que é o GeneCare, ele demora muito menos que todos eles e custa menos. Então, os nossos parceiros-chave seriam todas as companhias que trabalham fazendo reagente, os primers. Então, o nosso segmento de clientes seria, por exemplo, o SUS e hospitais menores. E a nossa proposta de valor, então, é criar uma metodologia rápida, barata e eficaz para diagnosticar pacientes com asepsia quanto à resistência ou não de um micro-organismo. É isso. Obrigada.
Here we go. Muito bem, muito bem. Pode ser em português? Ok. Ou querem treinar inglês? Tanto faz. Let's practice English. You need to practice to talk in English. Go back to the slide where you say about the cost per patient in sepsis. This one, yeah. William, when you say the cost per patient is $624, are you saying about the patient with infection or with sepsis?
Here I'm saying patient with sepsis, but
I think it's too low, that cost.
This is the cost for per day.
Per day, yeah. Don't use that. Use the overall cost.
Okay.
It's much more impacting.
Yeah.
Use the overall cost. Because once you get in sepsis, you can stay in the ICU like for 15 days plus
Yes.
than you expected. So what we say in this case, when you have sepsis, you say about additional costs. Because you go and get interned with pneumonia, and then that will already cost $1,000, for example. But once you get sepsis from your pneumonia, you will have an additional cost of $620 per day.
Yes.
And you will probably have at least 7 more days. And you can find that data. It's something around 15 days, the median time that a patient will stay more in the hospital once he gets sepsis.
Yeah, I think I see a data that is about $20,000 per patient.
So that's much more impacting than $600. Okay?
Yeah, but the data is also very divergent.
Yeah, but with the range.
Yeah. Yes.
It's okay if you say from $10,000 to $24,000. It's a range, and it's much more impacting than that. Okay. I think this next slide when you said about the death rate. Yeah. you have to communicate better that because you're talking about a 60% of drop in the survivor rate.
Yes.
So it's better if you say that only 20% of the person will survive, or 80% of the people will die.
Yeah, this is more better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and give an emphasis.
Okay.
80%.
80% of people will die if you take more than 12 hours to give treatment. That's impact. Okay. No. I'm not sure. I need to review Javi's topics on the final pitches, but you talk a lot about other things and then you define what sepsis is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better to start talking about sepsis right in the beginning. Maybe. We need to think more about
My
it.
intention was to do a great impact at first.
Yeah. Okay.
The numbers.
Talking about death and then talking about the disease.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
know. I
okay.
don't know what's better.
Okay, let's discuss with other mentors, and
Okay.
that's open for discussion. I'm not a designer, but I love visual things. I'm passionate about visual things. You know already my style. I'll never use a gray font, never, because once you're in a big auditorium, you all should go to the John Henry Newman, the place where you're gonna present. I did that just the day before I was presenting my thesis, and I got desperate. Why? Because when I went back to the last front of seats, I could not see anything that was projecting there. I could not read anything. So one day before my thesis defense, I had to change all my 50 slides because I could not communicate to the people that were sitting in the back. So I suggest you to go there and see. Standing far behind, you won't be able to read any of this. So put in blue, put in black, put it bigger, but don't put in gray. I know you're a silver team, right? I know that. I know that. But try to do that in some other part, not in the test. And then go to your mission.
Dark blue.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. What is important for people? To read our mission or to read exactly what it is your mission? So you should shrink this and expand this
Okay.
and put it in black. Put like a hype book with a symbol in silver there, up or up here. And you already have a tag, a silver tag there. You have a silver information there. It's okay. People will know that you're the silver team. Don't use that in the words. And back one slide. Here, it's good. You're using a World Health Organization information. It's very important. The critical, you're working with enterobacteriacin. And you guys are so young. You know so much about technology, but you don't use it. You should use one of those approaches that when you click in your slide, the enterobacteriacin word will pop up. Enterobacteriacin. So use those things. You cannot abuse of those motions effects. But you can use, and this is a good slide to use. You know what I'm saying? Do you know that effect that you click and then the words just pop out?
Like a zoom.
Yeah. So use it, you know it. And what else?
But
Our
it's
mission
very,
and
it's
our
very clean
the
slides.
the
Very clean and objective.
the slides are very good. The slides, except from this one, but this one you just wanted to pick up one information.
Okay.
So there's a lot of improvement in your presentation as well. Okay, and I'm just want to keep improving it. One thing I think is the most important. You got me confused because I think I kind of provoked that and I kind of made that confusion in your mind. But you were talking about sepsis.
Yes.
Once you're talking about the product that will detect sepsis, I'm thinking about blood. And then at Sunday you start to talk about urine.
Yeah.
And then you said that the number, I do understand your point, but what is your product about? It's about sepsis or about urine?
I searched on the internet and I found some tests that they collect urine and do a sepsis test. Then
They're detecting some inflammatory response in urine.
no, they detect bacteria. in urine.
But Okay. Let's talk about numbers. 30 to 40% of sepsis are urine-borne or will make urosepsis, which is a contrary, a different approach. You have sepsis and then you make an urinary tract infection. But that's only 40%. So you have a product that will start detecting at the most 40%.
Yes, but it's very difficult to find pathogen in blood.
Yeah,
Then
I know that. I
Yeah.
told you that. I told you.
then we change our approach to turn it easy, more easy.
Easier to detect.
Yes.
So maybe you have to change some other slides. You have to communicate better that because it wasn't clear. I only realized that because of our discussion from yesterday. Oh, they decided to change because of the sensitivity of the test, the number of bacteria in the blood, and so on. The discussion we were having yesterday, right? But what you need to do is explain it better. Our system is proposed to detect urosepsis or urine-borne sepsis.
Okay.
Urosepsis is when you have sepsis and then go to the urinary tract. And urine-borne, it's when you have an urinary tract infection that goes to the blood. You will detect both with your system, but that's only account for 30 to 40%. If you had pulmonary disease, which is very common in ICU, you won't detect it
Yes.
in the urine.
Are discussing this. We didn't finish yet. We tried the urine because it's more
Urine.
it's more clear on the literature, but we can use the liquid that they use to wash the bronchioles.
Yeah.
They do-
Bronchoalveolar lavage.
Yes, and by scar and
Sputum.
sputum and saliva. Yeah. So we don't know actually. We know that we can
You're
use.
still thinking about it.
Yeah. Actually, if we,
Wouldn't it be great if you could find a marker that's in the urine, which is not a bacteria? Oh, you're gonna look for the genes, right? Alright. I was thinking just only a marker, but it's an idea, just to make you more confused. No, I don't want to do that. I want to just make some ideas. If you can find a marker saying that this patient has sepsis, a urine marker. Someone did that a couple of years ago in the breath. They found a marker in the breath. When people breathe and they have sepsis, there's a different marker in their breath. So R&M equipment will detect that. So it's too expensive, the equipment. But if you find an inflammatory response or an inflammatory marker and you can find it, that is disruptive. And you only need to say, this patient has sepsis. I know that it's a lot better when you say which gene he has and which antibiotic, but maybe this is a second level.
yes,
And
thinking, I have a lot of papers that do these things with like a
biomarker.
biomarker, and it's really nice to do these things, but it's really abstract to we do this now. For me, it's like if I want to find, I want to do in a lab and try to find with this. Is
But you can discuss. I already made some points here. And then you mix LAMP with microfluidics.
yes.
Because yesterday you were only talking about LAMP, and then you will introduce the microfluidic. Well, I didn't get the point there.
Yeah.
Are you going to do first the microfluid, and if it detects bacteria, then you're going to do the LAMP instead, right?
The lamp is occurring in the spots.
We will occur inside there.
Yes. We put urine here, and by capillarity, they pass to here.
Migrate.
Yes. And there occurs the lamp.
There's the PCR. There's where the
Yes.
reaction is going to happen,
Yes.
and then you take a look and see.
Yes.
Oh,
We can
that's
Blood,
nice.
blood.
You must have a prototype.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
will have.
We not use
Must
We are
a real
working on
one. The
Yeah.
closer to real, the
Yes.
better.
this we can do.
we
Oh,
not
great,
use blood.
great.
Not use blood.
But
Some blood.
Dot
Ah,
blood.
blood?
And blood.
No, some
Blood?
blood. Some
Not blood, because the number of bacteria. That's very low.
like
But if we have DNA, we can do with everything. But we need to have DNA.
Yeah.
And we can use with Sputum and this.
I don't know the
I
name.
don't know. This
Bronchoalveolar lavage.
Yes.
is we can use these two samples here.
Okay.
Here.
Don't use the word when you have the marketing, the competitors. Please go in the competitors. Okay, back. You just create a word. Antibiogram. It's antibiogram. Cutting the M and the E. But there is this major confusion, and it's not only you, it's like everyone in Brazil. When you say in English antibiogram, you're saying the collective results of many isolates from 1 year, from 1 month, and 90% are susceptible to meropenem, and 20% are susceptible to ciprofloxacin, something like that. This is antibiogram. What you're saying that is susceptibility test. Antimicrobial susceptibility test, AST. You can even use AST because it's a common expression in the US. And I do disagree with your costs and time graphics there. Because BioFire should have 4 of those sacks, money sacks. It's too expensive. It's much more expensive than Walkway. So you can put 4 sacks there. Because here in Brazil, it might reach 1,000 reais, the cost.
Really?
1,000 reais per patient, per sample. So you can put 4 there.
Ah.
And Walkway, you can stay with 2 and you will have 1. But in the other part, once you put time, BioFire will be ready in 1 hour. So you can leave it with 1 time.
It's because ours would be like the middle of a half.
Half. 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yes. So we were thinking about this.
Yeah.
It's difficult to menstruate by
And
image.
Walkway is faster than the AST, okay? So Walkway should be 3 times
Okay.
figures and AST 4. Okay, I will accept your argument about half of the time because yours is 30 minutes, okay? And your business model, last time that it's too much words.
We will change it.
Yeah,
just because,
it's confusing.
yes.
I mean,
Don't
maybe it's better for you to say how much profit will you make. How much kits are you intending to sell the first year, the second year, the graph, visual.
Graph and number.
Yeah, graphs and numbers. And if you're going to sell to keep partnerships to the company, which is a very good strategy, it is a very good. You don't have to think about selling. You don't have to think about having vendors. You don't have to think about competing with others' company. You just sell it to company. There's a lot of biotech companies doing this all over the world. You won't imagine when you think like Roche, which one of the huge IVD companies in the world. Most of their product come from other companies. Sigma, all of the products come from other companies. So that's a good strategy. So you can try one part and one other part, and finally you're gonna make a deal. So change this rule. Rediscuss all this, please. Thank you very much. Sorry for taking so long.
Just going further about the samples. So you have changed from yesterday. Yesterday there is a lot of samples. You can make everything you want, and now you focus on the urine. Okay. I think it's okay if one that's maybe the doctor or them 90% patients going to sepsis and you use your test, it's not good, not at all, because the part that's not urinary system, it's not a urinary system problem, is not going to be detected by your test, and that's a huge problem because they are spending their only chance to understand what's the problem, what's the genes over there. Did you get it? So, if the doctor can presume the patient is the infection and the sepsis is about urinary tract, okay, I think it's a good shot. But if don't, I believe there is no chance. They will lost time. Time is very important. Okay. And more. Well, you mentioned it's like a disease. It's not a disease. Okay, it's a body reaction
Okay.
to an infection, and I think it's important. It's not like a disease. It's a concept, but an important one. And just to be clear, why just to public health system and medium-sized hospitals? It wasn't clear for me. Because the
It's
money is
because-
the problem there. I know you have a cheap option in your test, but what's the problem? The private system wants cheap things too. Yeah.
It was more because we didn't have time to change. It's really because of this. We yesterday we discussed about it, and oh my god, the person that works with this and say that we could apply this technique for veterinary clinics.
Okay, that's like you said yesterday.
Yes, but she, my god,
Went away.
yes, later.
Actually,
Yes, so we didn't have time to talk with her,
Discuss.
but we will discuss. Now we see other things that we can do with this.
okay. Yesterday I told one of I don't know one of the groups is not here now, and maybe you can think about infection, not only sex, because you have a step for it's broader, and for veterinary it's more important to take care of complicated infections than sepsis. Of course, sepsis is important, but we don't have a good management on sepsis yet. Veterinary, we have to improve. But infection, complicated infection with resident microorganisms, bacteria are a great thing to think about. Okay. Thank you, and congratulations. You have improved a lot.
All right. So I have one question, the same question, the best, in one observation. Question is, what changed from yesterday to today? But is think about there is to be a mindset. Your mindset change or not change, okay? And observation, I think to can explain little much the technique. How did it happen? And some important for me, how long it takes?
How-
Timing. Quanto tempo?
Okay.
Okay. So for me it's more important. Lau.
Okay.
You show me this one ampoulet number.
Okay.
Alright? So that's it. Don't answer my question.
I forget this.
Change your mindset yesterday from today or another things about to work to techniques or sample. What the change yesterday from today?
First, we change some things because the blood is it's not good to.
Not sure. We don't have sure.
Yeah. we don't have sure that blood is a
Sample. Good sample.
yeah, it's a good sample. Because the number of bacteria count is very low. Then we change to urine because the bacteria count is higher. Then we change for this. And the microfluidics we add for improve the value of our.
And it's because this homogenize the sample, so it's better than do by hand and these things. And I think the market for us change these things.
Anyone else like to make some comment? You have to think and discuss more about those many samples that you want to use, because sputum, bronchoalveolar lavage are complicated samples. Urine and blood are more clean samples, so they're easier to start with. You can solve this and say, so in the future we're going to think about it.
Okay.
But I think you really need to discuss what Diego said and I said about having a urine test will only make less than half of the patients diagnosed. So you have to think about it.
Validate.
You say, why should I use this? In 60% of the sepsis, it won't give me any results. Just think about it.
Professor, posso fazer uma pergunta? Eu queria saber se vocês leram alguma coisa sobre a probabilidade de fazer isso com sangue, tipo, coletar um dextro assim, da pessoa na beira do leito e ver se pode fazer a mesma técnica.
Então, essa ideia antes era fazer justamente com sangue. Só que o problema é a quantidade de bactéria que tem no sangue.
Porque assim, Tainá, às vezes você tem que coletar mais de 10 ml de sangue para ter uma amostra positiva, entendeu? Uma gota é 20 a 50 microlitros. A chance de ter uma bactéria em uma gota é baixíssima. Só se o paciente é morto já, que ele vai ter um número de bactérias, né? Não, mas é verdade. Esse é o grande desafio dos testes moleculares. Se vocês forem revisar, aí sim, cientificamente o assunto, vocês vão ver que o grande desafio, o BioFire, que é o kit mais caro, o melhor, ele tem esse problema. O Flowship, que é um outro, o Flowship, que é um outro sistema que não é tão caro como o BioFire, ele está no mercado nacional já, que vocês não colocaram, eu acho que vocês têm que colocar.
Qual o nome?
Flowship, da Mobius. Vocês têm que, ele é menos caro, ele detecta os genes de resistência à bactéria, que o BioFire detecta só 3 genes. Isso é outra coisa que vocês podem colocar. Equipment, cost, time e detecção de genes de resistência, porque o Walkway não detecta gene de resistência, ele diz se a bactéria é resistente ou não, mas não detecta o gene. O teste de sensibilidade a antibióticos também não, então vai ser o BioFire detecta só 3 genes e o Flowship detecta 23. Então tem essa diferença importante. Mas ele também não é para amostra direta, ele tem que enriquecer a amostra no caldo. Então todas as companhias querem esse produto que vocês estão tentando desenvolver e todas têm o mesmo problema, não tem sensibilidade suficiente.
Uma questão de controle de UTI mesmo e cultura. Isso tem que enriquecer do mesmo jeito.
O problema é a quantidade de DNA na amostra. E no sangue é a mais baixa de todas a concentração de DNA.
A gente chegou a pensar ontem, tem alguma forma de concentrar talvez essa amostra?
Isso.
Mas...
That's the 1 billion question.
Então, partindo de sangue, como concentrar?
Mas você partilha de sangue mesmo.
Ontem a gente estava pensando nisso, até a gente resolveu usar para urina.
Continue pensando. Dê uma olhada nos kits da... Como é que é o nome da companhia? Molzyme. Você conhece a Molzyme? M-O-L-Z-I-Y-M. Molzyme. Dá uma olhada lá que eles estão tentando fazer uma coisinha com isso. E você tem lá no instituto, tem um monte de gente trabalhando com sepsis faz anos lá, o professor Morello. Você tem um mentor dentro da tua casa, vai lá conversar com ele. Ele vai contar para você o quanto que ele bateu a cabeça lá.
Conversar, isso é importante.
Conversar, trocar ideia, ter insights, né?
Tomar café.
Vai. Go deeper and deeper. Tá bom? Obrigado. Purple, are you ready? Still only you? Green. Come on, Green.
Depois do News.
Depois do Green and Black Coffee. 10 minutos. 10 minutos, né?